Our world has always fascinated and confounded us, filled with mysteries and phenomena that defy explanation. Despite our best efforts to understand them, some events remain beyond our grasp. From the baffling disappearances to a new terrifying discovery made by the History Channel, here are the top 20 greatest mysteries of humanity. Number 20. The Holy Grail. The Holy Grail is one of the most sought-after relics in history, with legends surrounding it for centuries. According to Christian tradition, the Grail was the chalice used by Jesus Christ during the Last Supper. It is also said to have been used by Joseph of Arimathea to collect Jesus' blood during the crucifixion. The Grail is often associated with mystical powers, including the ability to grant eternal life, which has made it an object of fascination for generations. It has inspired countless myths, including the famous Arthurian legends. Over time, numerous claims have been made about the Grail's location. Some believe that the Knights Templar discovered it during the Crusades and hid it to protect it. Others suggest that the Grail could be hidden in places such as Glastonbury Abbey in England, the Cathedral de Valencia in Spain, or even Fort Knox in the United States. Despite many expeditions and exhaustive searches, the Grail's existence and exact whereabouts remain a mystery. The search for the Holy Grail continues to be a source of wonder and excitement, with people from all over the world still hoping to uncover its secrets. Its allure endures, as does the question of whether the legendary artifact truly exists or if it's just a symbol of something deeper. Number 19. D.B. Cooper's disappearance. On November 24, 1971, a man known by the alias Dan Cooper hijacked a Boeing 727 during a flight from Portland, Oregon to Seattle, Washington. After the plane landed in Seattle, Cooper received $200,000 in ransom money and 4 parachutes, then instructed the plane to take off again, heading towards Mexico City. Somewhere between Seattle and Reno, Nevada, Cooper opened the rear stairs of the plane and parachuted out into the night, taking the ransom with him. An extensive investigation by the FBI followed, but Cooper was never found. His true identity remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in criminal history. Over the years, many theories have emerged about who he might have been and what happened to him. Some suspect he was a former paratrooper, while others suggest he could have been an airline employee who knew the plane systems inside and out. Some theorists even think he didn't survive the jump, considering the challenging weather conditions and terrain where he might have landed. Despite all the attention and resources dedicated to solving this case, Cooper's fate remains unknown. His daring heist and mysterious disappearance have kept the world fascinated for decades, and the case continues to be a topic of speculation and intrigue. Number 18. The Ark of the Covenant. The Ark of the Covenant, a revered relic in the Hebrew Bible, is a mystery that has captivated the imagination of many. Described as a golden chest containing the stone tablets of the 10 Commandments, the Ark was said to have immense spiritual power, believed to symbolize God's presence among the Israelites. According to biblical accounts, the Ark was constructed during the Exodus from Egypt and carried into battle, ensuring victory for the Israelites when it was present. The last known location of the Ark was in the Temple of Solomon in Jerusalem, but its disappearance after the Babylonian invasion in 586 BC has left historians and archaeologists puzzled. Over the centuries, countless theories have been proposed about the fate of the Arkansas. Some believe that the prophet Jeremiah hid it before the Babylonian conquest, possibly in a secret location near Jerusalem. Others claim that the Ark was taken to Ethiopia, where it is said to be kept in the Church of Our Lady Mary of Zion in Aksum. Another popular theory suggests that it is hidden beneath the Temple Mount in Jerusalem, in a secret chamber known as the Well of Souls. Despite numerous searches and investigations, the Ark's location remains unknown. Some researchers even speculate that the Ark may have been discovered during the Crusades and later hidden in Europe. Its disappearance is one of the most enduring and intriguing mysteries of history, and it continues to captivate those who seek answers. Number 17. The Kentucky Meat Shower. On March 3, 1876, the residents of Olympia Springs in Bath County, Kentucky, witnessed one of the strangest phenomena in history, what would later be known as the Kentucky Meat Shower. For several minutes, pieces of meat, ranging in size from small squares to large chunks of up to 4 inches, fell from the sky. The strange event covered an area of about 100 yards by 50 yards, and the meat emitted a strong, unpleasant odor. When 2 local men sampled the fallen meat, they determined it to be either lamb or venison. Despite the efforts to explain the occurrence, no one could figure out where the meat came from. There were no reports of missing livestock or game in the area, which left authorities scratching their heads. Several theories arose to explain the bizarre incident. One suggests that a group of vultures flying over the area may have regurgitated their meals, causing the meat to fall. Another theory is that a large group of buzzards, startled by something, might have vomited their food. While these ideas were proposed, none fully account for the quantity and the way the meat scattered across the area. To this day, the Kentucky meat shower remains one of the most unexplained and bizarre events in history. The mystery continues to perplex scientists, historians, and enthusiasts alike. Number 16. The Tunguska event. On June 30, 1908, an enormous explosion took place over the remote Tunguska region of Siberia, leveling around 80 million trees across an 830 square mile area. The explosion released energy equivalent to 10 to 15 megatons of TNT, an impact roughly 1,000 times more powerful than the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima. The blast was so powerful that it could be felt hundreds of miles away, yet no crater was ever found. This strange and unexplained event has led to numerous theories about its origin. The most widely accepted explanation is that a meteor or comet, roughly 330 feet in diameter, entered Earth's atmosphere and exploded several miles above the surface. This explosion caused a massive shockwave that flattened the surrounding forest. Other, more unconventional theories have been proposed, including the possibility of antimatter or a mini black hole causing the explosion. Some even speculate that it could have been an extraterrestrial spacecraft. The remote location of the explosion, coupled with limited scientific resources at the time, made it difficult to fully investigate the cause. Despite the various theories, the true origin of the Tunguska event remains an enduring mystery. Now it's time for today's topic. Astonishing news has surfaced as researchers from the renowned History Channel uncovered what appears to be the skeletal remains of a massive, unknown deep-sea creature in the Baltic Sea. The team initially set out to explore the infamous Baltic Sea anomaly, a mysterious underwater formation that has puzzled scientists for decades. However, during their investigation, they stumbled upon something far more extraordinary, a skeleton spanning nearly 30 meters in length. The remains feature a skull with horn-like protrusions and rows of razor-sharp teeth, leaving marine biologists scrambling for answers. The bone structure is unlike any known species, prehistoric or modern, sparking theories about an undiscovered predator that once ruled Earth's oceans. Buried under layers of sediment, the creature's remains seem to have been preserved for an unimaginable amount of time. Some speculate it could date back millions of years, while others suggest it might belong to a species previously unknown to science. Adding to the intrigue, insiders claim that U.S. authorities quickly intervened, classifying the site and restricting further research. Rumors abound that the government had been aware of the site for years but deliberately kept it hidden. Why would they suppress such a monumental discovery? Was it to avoid public panic, or does this creature hold secrets that could rewrite history? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Number 15. The mystery of the Shugborough inscription. The peaceful grounds of Shugborough Hall in Staffordshire, England, have long been a subject of fascination for historians, cryptographers, and mystery enthusiasts alike. At the heart of this intrigue lies the Shepherd's Monument, an 18th-century relief sculpture that features a mirror image reproduction of Nicolas Poussin's famous painting The Arcadian Shepherds. But what truly captures attention is the enigmatic inscription beneath the relief. The inscription, which reads OUSVAVV, with the additional letters DM on a lower plane, has stumped researchers and experts for centuries. Various theories have emerged attempting to explain the strange sequence of letters. Some speculate that the inscription could be a coded message, possibly related to the Holy Grail or the legendary treasures of the Knights Templar. Others have suggested it may be an anagram, a form of hidden message or steganography, where a secret is concealed within a seemingly random set of characters. Despite years of investigation by some of the most brilliant minds, including Charles Dickens and Charles Darwin's grandson, no one has been able to definitively crack the code. While some claim to have made breakthroughs, none of these interpretations have been widely accepted. Some even argue that the inscription might be a playful prank or a deliberate riddle created by the monument's original creators, Thomas Anson and his friend George Anson. Whatever the true meaning may be, the Shugborough inscription continues to captivate those with a curiosity for hidden messages and unsolved mysteries. Number 14. The enigma of the Shroud of Turin. The Shroud of Turin is a piece of linen cloth that has long captivated the imagination of people worldwide. Measuring 14 feet long, the shroud bears the faint image of a man who appears to have suffered crucifixion, with wounds corresponding to those described in the New Testament. Many believe the shroud to be the burial cloth of Jesus Christ, miraculously imprinted with his image at the moment of his resurrection. First documented in 1353, the shroud's origins are shrouded in uncertainty, though it has been in the possession of the House of Savoy since 1453 and is currently housed in Turin, Italy. The authenticity of the shroud has been widely debated, with carbon dating tests in 1988 suggesting that it dates back to the Middle Ages, though some claim that the results may have been influenced by contamination. Those who believe in its authenticity point to the shroud's unique characteristics, such as the three-dimensional encoding of the image and the absence of any pigments, suggesting a supernatural imprint. Despite the skepticism surrounding it, the Shroud of Turin remains an object of deep veneration, especially among the faithful. While the Catholic Church has never definitively declared it a holy relic, it continues to inspire awe and spiritual reflection for many, leaving its true origin open to ongoing speculation and investigation. Number 13. The Pascagoula UFO abduction. On the evening of October 11, 1973, two Mississippi shipyard workers, Charles Hickson and Calvin Parker, were fishing along the Pascagoula River when they reported a strange and terrifying encounter. According to their account, a glowing egg-shaped spacecraft landed near them, and three humanoid beings with gray wrinkled skin and claw-like hands emerged. The creatures allegedly paralyzed Hickson and Parker with some form of beam before levitating them aboard the craft for an unsettling physical examination. After the abduction, Hickson and Parker were left alone in a room with a hidden microphone, which recorded their conversation as they discussed their harrowing experience. Both men later passed polygraph tests, which added an element of credibility to their claims. The Pascagoula UFO abduction case quickly gained national attention, becoming one of the most widely discussed alien encounters in history. While many skeptics argue that the abduction could have been a hoax, hallucination, or the result of sleep paralysis, the case continues to fascinate UFO researchers and enthusiasts. The unsettling nature of their story, combined with the polygraph results, has kept the Pascagoula UFO encounter a key part of UFO lore and a topic of ongoing debate. Number 12. The Lost Colony of Roanoke. In 1587, a group of English settlers led by Governor John White founded the Roanoke colony on an island off the coast of present-day North Carolina. The colony consisted of 115 people, including White's daughter, Eleanor Dare, and her newborn daughter, Virginia Dare, the first English child born in the New World. Shortly after the colony was established, White returned to England for supplies. However, due to the ongoing conflict with Spain, he was delayed and unable to return for 3 years. When White finally arrived back in 1590, he discovered that the entire colony had vanished. There were no signs of a struggle or violence, just the word Croton carved into a post. White believed that the colonists may have sought refuge with the friendly Croatan tribe living nearby on Hatteras Island, but he could not investigate thoroughly due to an approaching storm. The fate of the Roanoke colonists remains one of history's greatest mysteries. Over the years, numerous theories have been proposed. Some suggest the colonists assimilated with local native tribes, while others think they might have been wiped out by disease, starvation, or violence. Despite many archaeological digs and investigations, no conclusive evidence has ever been found to explain what happened to the lost colony, leaving this mystery unsolved and captivating for historians and mystery enthusiasts alike. Number 11. The Beale ciphers. In 1822, a man named Thomas Jefferson Beale left behind a mysterious box with an innkeeper named Robert Morris, asking him to hold it until Beale's return. However, Beale never came back, and the innkeeper was left with the box for years. When Morris finally opened the box, he discovered 3 pages of coded text. It wasn't until much later that one of these ciphers was solved, revealing a shocking secret. Beale had buried a treasure worth millions of dollars in Bedford County, Virginia. The decoded message listed valuable items, including gold, silver, and precious jewels, estimated to be worth over $40 million today. Yet, the exact location of the treasure remains unknown. The second cipher, believed to hold the treasure's coordinates, has never been cracked, leaving the treasure's whereabouts a mystery. Additionally, the third cipher, which supposedly identifies Beale's companions and their families, remains undecoded. Over the years, many have tried to solve these ciphers, including cryptographers and treasure hunters, but none have succeeded. Some even suggest that the codes could be a hoax, while others believe that the key to deciphering them may be hidden in the Declaration of Independence or other historical documents. The Beale ciphers continue to puzzle experts and adventurers to this day, with the treasure still waiting to be found. Number 10. The disappearance of Walter Collins. The disappearance of 9-year-old Walter Collins in Los Angeles, California, in 1928 sparked one of the most sensational and controversial manhunts in American history. On March 10th, Walter went out to see a movie and never returned. His mother, Christine Collins, immediately reported him missing, and the Los Angeles Police Department launched an extensive search. 5 months later, a boy who claimed to be Walter was found in DeKalb, Illinois, and was brought back to Los Angeles, reuniting with Christine. However, Christine Collins was immediately skeptical and insisted that the boy was not her son. Despite her objections, the LAPD pressured her to accept the boy as Walter. When Christine refused and continued to protest, she was forcibly committed to a psychiatric ward for her insistence. It was later revealed that the boy was not Walter, but rather an imposter named Arthur Hutchins Jr., who had fabricated the story in hopes of gaining a free trip to Hollywood. The LAPD's mishandling of the case, including their refusal to believe Christine and their attempts to cover up their blunders, caused public outrage. A formal inquiry was eventually launched, exposing the police department's failings. As for the real Walter Collins, his fate remains unknown. Some believe he may have fallen victim to the infamous Wineville chicken coop murders, a gruesome chapter in California's criminal history. The case remains unsolved, and Walter's true disappearance continues to haunt the public imagination. Number 9. The Dyatlov Pass Incident. In February 1959, 9 experienced hikers led by Igor Dyatlov set off on a skiing expedition in the Ural Mountains in Soviet Russia. The group, all students or graduates of the Ural Polytechnic Institute, had set their sights on a remote area, unaware that their journey would end in tragedy. On the night of February 1st, something caused the hikers to flee from their tent in a state of undress, with temperatures plunging to a freezing -22 degrees Fahrenheit. When investigators later discovered the bodies, they were scattered across the slope, and some showed signs of extreme trauma, such as fractured skulls and broken ribs. However, the circumstances surrounding their deaths were odd. The bodies showed no signs of a struggle, and some of the hikers were found wearing only their underwear despite the freezing conditions. Soviet authorities suggested that an unknown compelling force might have caused the hikers to act irrationally. Theories have ranged from an avalanche to a military experiment gone wrong, but no conclusive explanation has ever been found. The Dyatlov Pass incident has captivated the public imagination, inspiring numerous books, documentaries, and even a Hollywood film. Its eerie and unexplained nature has earned it a place among the most enduring and chilling mysteries of the 20th century, with no answers in sight. Number 8. The Mystery of the Ghost Blimp. On August 16, 1942, a U.S. Navy blimp known as L-8 was dispatched from Treasure Island in San Francisco Bay for a routine anti-submarine patrol off the coast of California. The crew of 2, Lieutenant Ernest DeWitt Cody and Ensign Charles Ellis Adams, took off in the blimp but ran into trouble hours into the mission. The L-8 drifted back over land and eventually crashed in a street in Daly City, California. When Navy personnel arrived at the crash site, they were shocked to find the blimp intact. The radio was still functioning, the doors were open, and the emergency life raft remained on board. However, there was no sign of the 2 pilots. Despite a thorough search of the area, neither Cody nor Adams were ever found. There were no indications of a struggle or any explanation as to what had happened to the crew. The mystery surrounding the disappearance of the pilots has led to wild speculation. Some theories suggest that the crew may have escaped, been captured by the enemy, or even that the blimp was involved in some sort of unusual incident such as alien abduction. No evidence has been uncovered to support any of these theories. The ghost blimp, as the incident is now known, remains one of the most puzzling aviation mysteries of World War II. Number 7. The Mysterious WOW Signal. In August of 1977, astronomer Jerry Emin was conducting a search for extraterrestrial intelligence, SETI, at the Big Ear Radio Telescope in Ohio. While reviewing data from a scan of deep space, he stumbled upon a highly unusual and powerful signal. The signal, which lasted for 72 seconds, was so striking that Emin marked it on the computer printout and wrote "Wow" beside it, giving the signal its now famous name. This mysterious signal came through at a frequency of 1,420 MHz, a critical frequency because it's the same frequency at which hydrogen, the most abundant element in the universe, emits radiation. Some have speculated that this frequency could serve as a universal communication channel for intelligent civilizations. The signal's intensity and duration matched the kind of signature one would expect from an interstellar source, leading to speculation that it might be evidence of extraterrestrial life. Despite numerous attempts to detect the signal again, no one has been able to replicate it, and its origin remains unexplained. Over the years, several theories have been proposed to explain the WOW signal. Some believe it might have been caused by a comet passing by or even a reflection from an Earth-based source like a satellite. However, these explanations have failed to fully account for the distinctiveness of the signal. The WOW signal remains one of the most compelling mysteries in the search for extraterrestrial life. Number 6. The Dancing Plague of 1518. In the summer of 1518, the city of Strasbourg, then part of the Holy Roman Empire, was struck by an unexplained phenomenon that became known as the Dancing Plague. It began when a woman named Frau Trophia started dancing uncontrollably in the streets. Within a week, dozens of others had joined her, and by the end of the month, hundreds of people were dancing without stopping. The bizarre behavior continued for days and, in some cases, weeks, with some dancers collapsing from exhaustion, strokes, or heart attacks. Some even danced until their feet were bloody and bruised. Local authorities, unsure of how to handle the situation, brought in musicians, believing that playing music would help the dancers work through the trance-like state. However, the phenomenon showed no signs of slowing down. While the exact cause of the dancing plague remains unclear, several theories have been proposed. Some believe it could have been a mass psychogenic illness, where the stress of harsh living conditions triggered the behavior. Another theory suggests that the dancing was caused by ergot poisoning, which is the result of consuming rye bread contaminated with a hallucinogenic fungus. The dancing plague of 1518 remains one of history's most bizarre and baffling events, with no definitive explanation ever being found. Number 5. The infamous Jack the Ripper. In the autumn of 1888, the foggy streets of London's East End became the hunting grounds for one of history's most notorious serial killers, Jack the Ripper. This mysterious figure is believed to have brutally murdered at least 5 women, all of whom were prostitutes in the Whitechapel district. The victims' bodies were found mutilated in a disturbingly similar manner, with deep slashes across their throats and internal organs removed with surgical precision. The gruesome nature of these murders suggested that the killer may have had knowledge of human anatomy, leading some to believe he was a doctor or butcher. Despite an extensive investigation, Jack the Ripper's identity has never been discovered. The police questioned numerous suspects, and over the years, many theories have been proposed, ranging from the possibility of a member of the royal family being involved to other bizarre explanations, including a connection to secret societies like the Freemasons. The identity of the Ripper has never been conclusively determined, and the case remains one of the most enduring and chilling unsolved mysteries in criminal history. The legend of Jack the Ripper continues to fascinate and horrify, with new theories and books emerging to this day, keeping the mystery alive in the public's imagination. Number 4. The disappearance of Amelia Earhart. Amelia Earhart, an iconic aviator, captured the world's attention with her groundbreaking achievements in flight. Her boldness and drive to push the limits of aviation made her a global figure. However, her final voyage in 1937 became one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of the 20th century. Amelia, accompanied by her navigator Fred Noonan, embarked on a journey to circumnavigate the globe, covering an astonishing 29,000 miles. The pair had already completed most of their journey, but on July 2, 1937, as they departed from La, New Guinea, their destination was Howland Island, a tiny landmass in the Pacific Ocean. As Earhart and Noonan neared Howland Island, they faced unexpected navigational difficulties and communication failures. The U.S. Coast Guard cutter Itasca, stationed nearby to assist, intercepted several radio transmissions from Earhart. She reported that they were running low on fuel and unable to locate the island. The last message received from her came at 8:43 a.m. local time, stating, "We are running on line north and south." After that, contact was lost, and both Earhart and Noonan vanished without a trace. A massive search operation covered over 250,000 square miles, yet no trace of the plane or its passengers was ever found. The official search was called off on July 19, 1937, and Earhart was declared lost at sea. In the years that followed, many theories have emerged. Some suggest that they ran out of fuel and crashed into the ocean, while others believe they may have landed on a remote island like Gardner Island. Another theory proposes that Earhart and Noonan were captured by the Japanese or that they were involved in a secret government mission. The disappearance of Amelia Earhart remains one of aviation's most enduring and perplexing mysteries. Number 3. The disappearance of Flight MH370. On March 8, 2014, Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370 vanished in one of the most baffling aviation mysteries in modern history. The Boeing 777, which was carrying 239 passengers and crew, was on its way from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, to Beijing, China. The flight took off at 12:41 a.m. local time and was scheduled to reach Beijing at 6:30 a.m. However, less than an hour into the journey, the aircraft lost contact with air traffic control as it flew over the South China Sea, with the last communication being a routine "good night" message from the co-pilot. An extensive search operation involving countries from across the globe was launched in an attempt to find the missing plane. The search covered vast areas of the Indian Ocean, with advanced equipment like submarines, ships, and aircraft being used to scan the ocean floor. Despite these efforts, no conclusive evidence was found for many months, and the plane's exact location remained a mystery. Several theories have surfaced in the wake of the disappearance. Some believe that the plane suffered a catastrophic mechanical failure, while others suspect foul play, such as hijacking or deliberate diversion by one of the crew members. The discovery of pieces of wreckage confirmed to be from MH370 on the shores of East Africa and nearby islands only added to the mystery, as these fragments had drifted thousands of miles from the plane's last known position. To this day, the disappearance of Flight MH370 remains unsolved, leaving unanswered questions and heartbroken families. Number 2. The disappearance of the Sodder family. On Christmas Eve in 1945, tragedy struck the Sodder family in Fayetteville, West Virginia. A fire broke out in their home, and 5 of the 10 Sodder children were never seen again. The events surrounding the fire and the investigation that followed have fueled decades of speculation and numerous conspiracy theories. That night, George and Jenny Sauter, along with 9 of their children, were asleep when Jenny received a mysterious phone call around 1 a.m. After the call ended, she noticed that the lights were still on and the curtains were left open, both unusual circumstances for the family. Soon after, Jenny heard a loud bang from the roof, followed by the discovery of the fire. George and Jenny managed to escape with 4 of their children, but the other 5 were nowhere to be found. Although the fire department confirmed that the fire was caused by an electrical fault and declared the missing children dead in the blaze, the Sauters noticed several strange details. A ladder that should have been against the house was missing, the phone line was cut, and a man had been seen watching the house shortly before the fire started. Years later, the Sauters received a mysterious photograph of a young man who resembled one of their missing sons. They became convinced that their children had been kidnapped and were still alive. Some theories suggest that the mafia may have been involved, or that the fire was connected to George Sauter's outspoken criticism of Mussolini's regime. Despite numerous searches and investigations, no concrete evidence has ever surfaced, and the fate of the 5 missing children remains unsolved, leaving their disappearance an enduring mystery. Number 1. The Flannan Isle Mystery. In December 1900, 3 lighthouse keepers stationed on the remote Flannan Isles off the coast of Scotland vanished without a trace. The men, James Duckett, Thomas Marshall, and Donald MacArthur, were in charge of maintaining the lighthouse on the isolated island of Eilean Moor. On December 26, a relief boat arrived to check on the men, but when it reached the island, the lighthouse was unattended. A search revealed that the men were nowhere to be found. The only clue inside the lighthouse was a table set for a meal and an overturned chair. The men's personal belongings, including their oilskins and boots, were left behind, indicating that they had left the lighthouse in a hurry. Theories about their disappearance range from a massive wave sweeping them away to more sinister explanations such as a murder-suicide pact or even supernatural intervention. Some speculate that the men could have been caught in a freak wave while trying to secure the lighthouse equipment during a storm. Despite an exhaustive search, no bodies or further evidence were ever recovered, and the fate of the lighthouse keepers remains an unsolved mystery to this day. The Flannan Isle mystery has inspired numerous books and films and remains one of the most eerie and debated unsolved cases in maritime history. Do you think these mysteries should have been kept secret to protect us, or is it better that we know the truth? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious.